barring an injury, okay, how many games at subpar performance, let's say RG3 looks like he did in the preseason, how many games does he have before new head coach Jay Gruden makes a move to bench him for Kirk Cousins?
Probably say 7, which leads right up to the Monday night game against Dallas. I mean, he's going to play 2 division rivals in Philadelphia and the Giants. He's got to go through Seattle during that period of time. So there are going to be some subpar performances that are going to be justifiable, but I think overall you can't limp into that Monday night game against Dallas. And new head coach, RG3 expectations, that whole thing, I think that's probably the leash, 7 games.
All right, 7 games. What do you think, Mike?
15.5. Kirk Cousins, with all due respect, is not a starting NFL quarterback at this time and juncture in his career. He may be for some other team at some other time. He will not see the field until Robert Griffin III gets hurt. And with all due respect to anybody that thinks that Kirk Cousins had a more wonderful preseason than Griffin, he wasn't playing against anybody.
This is what we did last week. We tamped it all down. What do you think, Dan?
Just like where did the media training come where he was told that you have to shout at least once?
That was in my handbook.
I don't know. Shawnee, the PR team might handle that.
Shawnee George.
I totally agree with him. I think it's 16. I don't think you're setting your franchise up for chaos and erasing the last 3 years. Not that the last 3 years are that great, but they've invested everything in this kid, and everything that Jay Gruden has said has been about this kid. And I think that he's even setting the stage for him to not play particularly well initially by saying maybe we need to win with special teams and defense some games this year. I think that you're just, if after this year, if this year is a disaster and RG3 plays terribly and you want to say, let's have a serious conversation about where we go, maybe you have that conversation after the season. But I don't think you can have it during his first year.
And let's not play down the point that this is a guy that this team mortgaged the future of their franchise for. If you go to Kirk Cousins early on,
does that matter as much for Jay Gruden though?
Yes. Not Jay Gruden. It might not matter for Jay Gruden, but it matters for the people who are his bosses.
Okay.
And I think that's where Jay Gruden gets the message. Look, I know I wasn't the general manager in a name only, but I am Bruce Allen now, and I need to show that this thing's going to work.
But you got to win games. I mean, the NFL, if there's one conference or one division that's ripe to ascend to the top, it's the NFC East. And if you wait too long, you're going to fall too far behind and you don't have any chance. So you have a first-year coach that had a lot of success in Cincinnati, had a lot of success with Andy Dalton. So, at some point you do have to look at this and say, who gives us the best chance to win games? And I don't think that you can go 16 games and not have any success and just leave them out there, no matter what you've put in there, because those are sunk costs. They've already traded the picks. They've already done all that stuff. At some point, you have to look at your roster and say, is this guy the right guy? And if they come out and win 4 of their first 7, 3 of their first 7, 2 of their first 7, easily see a change.
I totally disagree. I think that, they gave Jay Gruden 5 years, and this team was 3-13 last year. I think he has no expectations and no pressure this year.
Including RG3.
What?
You said Jay Gruden. I was wondering if that translated
I think there's
down
pressure
to
on RG3 as a brand and as like a top athlete to perform. But I don't think Jay Gruden has to have footsteps.
I tend to agree with you guys, but I can't imagine the team being worst case scenario they're 0-5 or something, and them not making some sort of a change eventually.
But this
even
is
if
all
he's
predicated on this would be the quarterback's fault.
True.
I don't think
That's a good
this will
point.
be the quarterback's
Of course,
fault
this is all
if they fall
hypothetical.
off
Absolutely.
the face of the earth.